Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to our English first class. So let's take the next lesson, sentence types. For going into sentence, let's recall what is a phrase and what is a clause. If you know what is a phrase and what is a clause, it's easy to remember or it's easy to understand what is a sentence or what a sentence is. Okay, and I have written here 3 sentences. Okay, I'll read it. While crossing the river, I saw my uncle. Next sentence. As I saw a tiger, I ran fast. Entering into the hall, I saw my friend. Okay, and here we will see the clause or the phrase. Okay, while crossing the river, I saw my uncle. Okay, how many clauses are there? How will you identify a clause? If there is a subject and predicate, that's a clause. Okay, and here we will see while crossing the river. Is there any subject? No, there is no subject. Is there any verb? No. Okay, so this part is a phrase only, it's not clause. It's only a phrase. I saw my uncle. Here there is subject I and here predicate saw my uncle or verb is the saw. Okay, so together it constitutes this. It's a sentence because it gives you complete sense. While crossing the river, I saw my uncle. That's a sentence. Okay, and here this is a clause. But here it is only a phrase. Okay, and in a sentence there can be clauses and phrases. Okay, at least there must be one independent clause in order to constitute a sentence. One independent clause is a must in order to constitute a sentence. Okay, and there can be another clause that can be dependent or there can be more than 2 clauses. Other clause also can be main clause, but as a must that there must be one main clause or one independent clause in order to constitute a sentence. Okay, here while crossing the river, I saw my uncle. I saw my uncle. That's a independent clause. So this is a sentence. Next sentence we will analyze. As I saw a tiger, I ran fast. Okay, how many subjects and how many predicates are there? As I saw a tiger. Here there is subject I. So here there is verb and here together it is saw a tiger. That is a predicate. So here there is subject and predicate. So this can be called a clause. Here I ran fast. I subject, ran verb, fast, and together constitute a predicate. So here there is subject and predicate. Here also there is subject and predicate. So how many clauses are there? There are 2 clauses. Okay, but can you see or can you say whether it is both clauses are independent or dependent? As I saw a tiger, will you get complete sense there? No. So there is a dependent clause or subordinate clause. Here, I saw fast, there is a main clause or independent clause. Okay, so this is also a sentence, but there are 2 clauses. Next sentence, entering into the hall, I saw my friend. Entering into the hall, I saw my friend. Here, how many clauses are there? Entering into the hall. Is there any subject? No. Okay. And here, any predicate? No. So, this part is a phrase only. And here, I saw my friend. I subject. So, my friend, that is predicate. So, verb. What did you understand from these sentences? In order to have a sentence, there must be clause. Okay. Sometimes there will be phrase also along with the clause. but it's not compulsory that there must be phrase, but there must be a clause in order to constitute a sentence. So all these are sentences. Sometimes there will be one clause, sometimes there will be two clauses, there will be three clauses, one main clause and two subordinate clauses, two main clauses and one subordinate clause. Sometimes all the clauses will be main clauses, but it's compulsory that there must be a clause in order to constitute a sentence. I think it's clear for you now. Okay, this is only an introduction for sentences. The sentences are divided into three types. There are three types of sentences. One is simple sentence, next one is complex sentence and compound sentence. Simple, complex and compound. From the word itself, I think it will be clear for you. What is simple sentence, what is compound sentence and what is complex sentence. Okay, that means depending on the clauses, the sentences are divided into three types. Depending on the clauses. Okay, there are independent and dependent clauses, and based on the dependent and independent clauses in a sentence, the sentences are divided into three types. That is simple, complex and compound. Okay, what is a simple sentence? A simple sentence will have only a main clause. Okay, that means there will be only a clause that will be the main clause. There should be only a single clause that must be independent clause or main clause in a simple sentence. But it does not mean that by hearing the word simple sentences, it doesn't mean that a simple sentence is a very short sentence. It can be long sentence, but there must be only one subject and one predicate. That means there must be only one clause, that must be main clause. Okay, let's analyze sorry for that. And a complex sentence will have only one main clause and one or more subordinate clauses. Okay, one main clause and one or more subordinate clauses. As I entered into the class, the children's tuition. As I entered, okay, that's a subordinate clause. The children's tuition, that is a main clause. So that is called a complex sentence because it has only one main clause and other clauses subordinate. There can be other subordinate clauses too. Otherwise, there must be one main clause. There can be another main clause also, but there must be subordinate clause. Because that types of sentence is called complex sentence. So let's see the third type of sentence, that is compound sentence. Okay. Compound sentence is a type of sentence which has two or more main clauses or independent clauses. Two or more independent clauses. If a sentence consists of two or more main clauses, that is called compound sentence. Okay, we'll see each type in detail. Okay, I think you understood. In a simple sentence, there must be only one clause that must be the main clause. In a complex sentence, there must be more clauses, but more than one clauses is compulsory in a complex sentence, but there must be one subordinate clause. And in a compound sentence, there can be two or more main clauses, but there must be more than two main clauses. There must not be any subordinate clauses in compound sentence. Okay, I think it's clear. Okay, now let's go into what is the simple sentence. Okay, simple sentence. I have written a sentence here. Look at this sentence. The small kids wearing fancy and colorful clothes dance on the stage without any hesitation. Okay, so many words are there. And can you identify whether it is a simple sentence, complex or compound sentence? I told you what is a simple sentence. Simple sentence has only a and complex sentence there must be one main clause and other clauses can be subordinate clause. Anyway, there must be one subordinate clause and more than one clause. Okay. And a compound sentence will have more than two or more than two clauses. Okay. So can you identify how many clauses are there? Even if you cannot identify simple, compound or complex sentence, you can identify the clauses. So tell me whether there is, how many clauses are there in this sentence. The small kids, let's analyze each part. The small kids, we can call it as a subject. Okay, it's a phrase. Since it is in the place of the subject, that's called noun clause. Don't forget anything because it's a continuation. Noun is a continuation. Phrase, clause, and sentence comes together. So this is a phrase, and this is a noun phrase because it comes in the place of the subject. The small kids wearing fancy and colorful clothes. Wearing fancy and colorful clothes. How many words are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 words are there, but there is no subject and predicate. So we cannot call it as a clause. This is also a phrase. Wearing fancy and colorful clothes. That's a phrase. Okay. Danced. That's a verb. So the small kids danced on the stage. Okay, that's a verb. Adverb. Without any hesitation. Does it have subject and predicate? No. So this is also not a clause. That is a phrase again. Even though this is a very long sentence consisting of many words, cannot be called a complex or compound sentence. This is a simple sentence. She dances. That is a simple sentence. In the same way, the small kids dance. That is a simple sentence. In the same way, this is also a simple sentence, but it has many phrases in it. Okay, so the length does not determine the structure of the sentence or the sentence type. Okay, length does not tell whether a sentence is a simple, compound or complex sentence. Okay, the consisting of the clauses will determine whether it's a simple sentence, a compound sentence or complex sentence. Okay, so a simple sentence will have only a single clause and that will be the main clause or the independent clause. Is it clear, children? Let's look at two more examples. An old man and a woman sat under a tree. A simple sentence can have one or more subjects, but there must be one finite verb only. Okay, that is the must thing. Okay, there must be only one finite verb. Finite verb, you must remember what is it, which changes according to the tenses, numbers, gender, etc. Finite verb. Okay, so an old man and a woman sat under a tree. What's the subject here? An old man and a woman. Okay, this is a phrase, noun phrase, because many words are there. An old man and a woman. This is one subject and this is another subject. And here verb is sat. Even though there are two subjects, we cannot say that it is complex or compound sentence. This is a simple sentence because there is only one verb and there is only one finite verb, that is sat. So first I told you a simple sentence does not mean that the sentence must be short. Second, I tell you that even though there are more than one subject, then it can be simple sentence because we look at the verb. If there is only one finite verb, that is simple sentence. Okay, next example. The child ate the candies and ice cream. The subject here, the child. verb 8. This is object. Okay, there are two objects here. The candies and ice cream. Two objects are there. This is also a noun phrase because there are more than one word, so it can be called a phrase. The candies and ice cream. Even though it has two objects, it cannot be called a complex or compound sentence. This is a simple sentence again because there is only one finite verb, that is 8. Okay, so length does not determine the sentence type. Okay, even if it is very long sentence, it can be simple sentence because if there is only one finite verb, that is simple sentence. Okay, and also if there are more than one subject, it can be simple sentence if there is only one finite verb. If there are more than one object, it cannot be called either complex or compound sentence. Can be simple sentence because if there is only one finite verb. Okay, so what determines a simple sentence? Finite verb. There must be one finite verb, and also there must be only one clause, that must be the main clause or independent clause. Clear? Okay, so we stop here. If you understand well what's a simple sentence, it's easy to understand what is a complex and compound sentence. So we study complex and compound sentence in next class. That's very easy if you know what is a simple sentence. And most of us are writing simple sentences when we write essays, write letters. This is good if you use simple sentence without mistake. Okay, because if you use complex and compound sentence, you will make more mistakes. There can be. Sometimes you will be expert, still. It's good if you use simple sentences without mistakes. So be thorough with what is a simple sentence. The rest we will study in the next class. Thank you.